The Ottoman Empire was a realm of unmatched power, strategy, and military brilliance, stretching across 3 continents and enduring for over 6 centuries. Its sultans were not only rulers but symbols of authority, courage, and strategic mastery. Among the most extraordinary stories of the empire are those moments when enemies, confident in their triumph, believed they had captured the sultan, only to discover, often to their astonishment, that they themselves had fallen into Ottoman hands. These events serve as remarkable examples of the Sultan's cunning leadership and the deep respect and fear they inspired in friend and foe alike. In an era when battles were fought with swords, cannons, and discipline, the capture of a sovereign could decisively shift the balance of power. European monarchs and military commanders understood this, and so too did the leaders of neighboring states who contended with the Ottomans. The idea of taking the Sultan prisoner seemed a tantalizing prospect. Removing the central figure of authority might unravel the empire, disrupt command structures, and create an opportunity for conquest. Yet time and again, the audacity of those who sought to achieve this goal met with disaster. Ottoman sultans combined personal bravery with careful preparation, ensuring that they were never easy targets. They were present on battlefields, often leading charges and directing maneuvers firsthand, yet they also surrounded themselves with elite guards, carefully selected for loyalty, skill, and discipline. The Janissaries, Ottoman infantry renowned for their rigorous training, formed the protective shield around the Sultan, creating layers of security that made any attempt at capture exceptionally risky. One illustrative event took place during campaigns in the Balkans, where rival factions frequently attempted to ensnare the Ottoman ruler. Local forces, emboldened by the thought that they could strike at the head of the empire, launched coordinated assaults designed to isolate the Sultan. They underestimated the intelligence networks of the Ottomans, the vigilance of the Sultan, and the speed with which elite forces could respond. In many cases, the would-be captors found themselves encircled, cut off from reinforcements, and ultimately overwhelmed by the very forces they sought to challenge. Such incidents were more than mere displays of martial prowess. They were lessons in strategy and psychological dominance. The capture of a sultan, which might have emboldened rivals, instead became a cautionary tale. Stories of enemies turning from hunter to hunted spread quickly, reinforcing the reputation of the Ottoman leadership. These narratives were chronicled in Ottoman archives, shared among soldiers, and sometimes passed down orally, ensuring that both Ottoman troops and adversaries recognized the dangers of underestimating the empire's rulers. The strategic brilliance of these moments lay not merely in physical protection, but in the use of deception and intelligence. Sultans often employed decoys, concealed movements, and rapid reinforcements to confuse attackers. The Ottoman command structure allowed for instantaneous communication across the battlefield, ensuring that no attempt to isolate the Sultan went unnoticed. By combining foresight, disciplined troops, and rapid tactical responses, the Sultan could transform a threatening situation into a decisive victory. Beyond the battlefield, the story of enemies becoming captives demonstrated the Ottoman Sultan's understanding of power projection. Leadership was not confined to issuing orders from a palace. It was active, visible, and commanding on the front lines. The ability to confront danger personally while maintaining control and using strategy to turn the tide exemplified the blend of courage and intellect that characterized Ottoman rulers. Soldiers fought not only out of duty, but inspired by the knowledge that their leaders shared their risks and matched them in bravery. These episodes also had profound implications for morale, both within the Ottoman army and among its enemies. Troops who witnessed the Sultan navigate threats with skill and courage gained confidence, discipline, and a belief in their collective invincibility. Conversely, opponents who thought they had achieved a remarkable victory experienced disorientation and fear, often surrendering without further resistance once the tables had turned. The psychological dimension of such encounters cannot be overstated. The aura of the Sultan, reinforced by tangible action, became a weapon in its own right. Ottoman historians recount several notable examples of this phenomenon. During campaigns against European powers, foreign forces often attempted surprise attacks, only to be met with counter-ambushes orchestrated by the Sultan and his advisors. Commanders who believed they had trapped the Sultan found themselves encircled, their retreat cut off, and their forces compelled to surrender. The narratives emphasize not only the Sultan's personal courage, but also the meticulous planning, loyalty of troops, and ability to exploit enemy mistakes, hallmarks of Ottoman military strategy. Even outside direct combat, the reputation of invulnerability cultivated by such stories served as a diplomatic tool. European diplomats and monarchs knew that capturing the Sultan was not only difficult but perilous. This understanding influenced negotiations, alliances, and conflicts. The Sultan's perceived invincibility added weight to treaties, encouraged caution in opposition strategies, and projected authority that extended far beyond the battlefield. In this way, the ability to turn would-be captors into prisoners reinforced Ottoman influence without the need for continual warfare. The interplay of bravery, intelligence, and tactical ingenuity reflected the broader ethos of Ottoman leadership. Sultans were expected to lead by example, demonstrating that the authority of the throne was earned through courage and wisdom. By actively participating in campaigns and ensuring that any threats against their person were countered decisively, sultans modeled the qualities they demanded from generals, governors, and soldiers throughout the empire. The combination of personal risk and strategic acumen distinguished Ottoman rulers from many contemporaries who delegated battlefield command entirely to subordinates. Moreover, these stories helped define the relationship between rulers and subjects. The Sultan's willingness to face danger alongside soldiers fostered loyalty and obedience. It reinforced a sense of shared purpose and collective responsibility, crucial for sustaining an empire as vast and diverse as the Ottoman state. Soldiers were not merely executing orders from a distant throne. They were fighting alongside a leader whose courage mirrored their own. This bond was a critical component of the empire's long-term military effectiveness. Even in defeat, the principle endured. Sultans who faced setbacks often turned adversity into opportunity through strategic retreats, counterattacks, or negotiations. The same intelligence and decisiveness that had protected them from capture also allowed them to regroup, consolidate power, and continue campaigns. The lessons drawn from these experiences shaped Ottoman military doctrine, ensuring that future generations of leaders could adapt, survive, and prevail in complex and dangerous situations. The enduring legacy of these events lies in the way they illustrate leadership as both action and symbol. Ottoman sultans were not abstract figures of authority, they were active participants in the empire's survival and expansion. Their ability to transform attempts on their lives into victories demonstrated a mastery of courage, strategy, and human psychology. The stories of enemies thinking they had captured the sultan, only to become captives themselves, remain emblematic of an empire that combined fearsome military might with unparalleled leadership. In conclusion, the Ottoman Empire's strength was built not only on armies, fortresses, and resources, but on the courage, intelligence, and tactical brilliance of its sultans. By leading from the front and turning threats into opportunities, these rulers inspired loyalty, demoralized enemies, and maintained authority across a vast and diverse empire. The tales of captors becoming captives are more than historical curiosities. They are testament to the ingenuity, bravery, and enduring influence of the Ottoman leadership. In these moments, the empire demonstrated that true power is not only measured in force, but in the ability to command respect, manipulate circumstances, and transform danger into triumph.